Hello and welcome to Lucas Plays. This is a sort of different kind of video. I'm going to be doing a sort of review slash rant on, you guessed it from the title, Assassin's Creed Unity. Now people that know me know that Assassin's Creed is my favourite game franchise. Well, it was. For fuck's sake, Ubisoft! Yeah, as you can tell I'm not happy, so let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm basing this off, I did a written review on my channel, which is called The Assassin Order. I'll leave a link in the description below for any of you that are remotely interested. But yeah, this is based on my playthrough on PS4. Now I'm just going to kick it off with a basic sort of section which is visuals, which I gave a solid 8.5 out of 10. Now, Ubisoft, their games look pretty good in general, but this one, there are moments where it really lets itself down, and I wouldn't say it matches Black Flag or even Watch Dogs. Now I thought those two were excellent, and something Ubisoft has absolutely nailed is water, and like rain. So, I don't actually think it rained when I played Unity, which is strange. I swear all the time it was just like afternoon. It's dry weather, it's like what? Yeah, for the main characters, I think the detail on them is absolutely fantastic, but for everyone else it's sort of like, And you do see like, repeated faces and stuff, but I guess with so many NPCs on the screen you kind of expect that. They do like pop in as you approach and stuff, it's weird, and obviously there's that bug where like the face doesn't load in, it's horrible. I didn't have that, but you know. And the interiors of buildings and the architecture on some of them is just beautiful. It's really good, and the lighting like coming through the windows and all that stuff. It's really good. So yeah, for a rant, this is sort of going off pretty well. But I'm moving on to the story. I gave this a 6 out of 10. Now it's a really generic sort of story. He's out for revenge, he finds the assassins, and that's about as exciting as it gets. Now honestly, I think by far the best parts of the story have to be before Arno even joins the assassins, which is ridiculous, but you see far more of his character and it's quite fun to play. Like he makes like stupid comments and but then it just sort of falls apart. And the parts with Arno and Elise were like, quite interesting at times. But the longer it went on, the less it seemed to be like a romantic relationship. It was sort of like, I don't know, they were just sort of having to work together. And that was a bit annoying. To give good credit to them, the cutscenes were just, the acting on them was just brilliant, and their emotion captured so well. So, no, full credit to them for that. But it's clear with Arno, they really tried to make him Ezio. Like you can see in his appearance, like his outfit before he even gets the assassin robes. It's almost identical to Ezio's. The face is similar, the hair's kind of similar. They tried to make him like charismatic and stuff at times, but it just didn't work. It fell so short. And honestly, I don't think Ubisoft can ever create another character as good as Ezio, which is a shame, but well, there you go. Now, moving on to gameplay. Oh dear lord. Dear lord. I gave another 6 out of 10, which I guess is kind of generous, but there's often problems in this sort of department with Assassin's Creed games. You know, that's a given. But the combat is definitely more challenging, but sometimes it's really unnecessarily so. I mean, you get some enemies where if it's only like a few, it's the same as it's always been, it's pretty easy, you know, counter a few, kill them, simple, sorted. But if you get a load more turn up, you just get slaughtered, you get absolutely butchered. I mean, it becomes so difficult to escape. I mean, some of them, you just one you counter one, but then another stabs you, another shoots you, and then another finishes you off, and it's so annoying. And if you try and escape clambering up a wall, you just get shot. They have perfect aim a lot of the time, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, I had one, it was one of the assassination missions. I jumped down, killed the guy, accidentally alerted like 3 guards. Suddenly about 12 were on me, and most of them perfectly lined me and shot me off the wall and killed me. So I had to start that mission again, which I wasn't happy about. I suppose having them a bit more challenging, it does force you to play a bit more stealthily, which is kind of good considering you're like an assassin and stuff. And I wouldn't mind if the stealth worked a lot better than it does. It is really not that good. The cover system, which they took from Watch Dogs, which worked really well there, it just doesn't work. Only half the stuff you think you can cover behind, you can't. It's ridiculous. I mean, too often I'm just stuck crouching behind an upturned piano, like, oh shit. Great, now I'm stuck. Oh, I've been spotted. Yep. If you can't hide behind an upturned piano or a sofa or something, then what can you hide behind? It's ridiculous, and obviously because you're not covered on it, you can't use a cover assassination, so you're very exposed. And speaking of assassinations, removing one hidden blade is ridiculous. It makes it so much more difficult to kill guards stealthily, because you have to do a double assassination, you have to upgrade that skill. Also, you have to upgrade to get a double air assassination. It's like, what? And you also have to unlock the skill to be able to sit on a bench for cover. What? That's just absolute nonsense. Why? It's worked since then, and even in Black Flag, when Edward gets his hidden blades, the guy hands them over. I can't remember his name now. But he's just like, 2 hidden blades, that's the custom, right? Ah, yes, quite. Granted, it's a custom, not a rule, but to just have one is ridiculous. Because, you know, if you fail, you only end up stabbing one. The other guy's like, right, stabbed you. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's stupid. And you have far too few items. I mean, too often I was running out of ammo and bombs and all that stuff. It's just so annoying. And normally the bonus objectives for the missions, they require me to have items that I don't have yet, I haven't unlocked or don't have ammo to. And I don't think you can upgrade the storage. I think maybe if better armor you might be able to get more storage, but I don't know. It's just nonsense. And there should be some upgrade system to get a bigger bag to store bullets in or something. But you can only get like 2 berserk blades. I mean, what the hell is up with that? Come on. Yeah, continuing sort of with the assassinations is the black box assassination missions. Now I really like those because that's going back to sort of the first game, where you have your target and then it's like sort of find your way in, work out to kill them. Do you just fight your way in? Do you climb up the side and try and work out? Now that's good, and there's so many side opportunities like kill this guy to get a key and stuff like, and you could easily get in without a lockpick or anything like that. Now I think that's a pretty cool system. You know, a lot of it's black box, but some of them it's a bit, you know, and like one of the assassination missions, there's at least 1,000 people or something stupid at the guillotine. By the guillotine, just you have to go through them. I shot one guy with a phantom blade from deep within the crowd. I was spotted. I'm sorry, but there's no way I would ever be spotted in that crowd. How they'd spot a tiny little blade fling out from that crowd. I mean, that is ridiculous. One step out of line and you're spotted. What? I'm so far into this crowd. What is going on? It's so stupid. Speaking of crowds, oh my god, it's impressive the sheer number of them. Don't get me wrong, but because of the sheer number of them, the frame rate is just raped. It just gets slammed at times. There are times where you're inside and it just balls up for no particular reason. I mean, there's times inside buildings you're trying to climb up the side and it's like a slideshow. Well, that's a slideshow, that's a bit of an exaggeration. But the frame rate's just awful, it's ridiculous. It really is. And it just makes the game so much harder to play. And enjoy, even. And the parkour. The parkour down, I like that, it's good. You know, it helps with getting down rather than just having to find a bale of hay to leap into. But climbing up is less responsive than before. I mean, before it could be tricky to make him go somewhere, but you just sort of re-angle yourself and, oh, I'll just risk a leap and grab this. Not anymore. The amount of times I think, oh, I could jump to that. Oh no, I'm just sort of shuffling along on this corner of building for ages, and I just get annoyed. Oh, for God's sake! So I have to climb to find a point he will actually climb on. Just climb all the way around the building. For fuck's sake, Arno! What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Just climb, you bastard! I mean, there are bits of building which are really sticking out that he just won't cling onto, and I think even I could do that. I can barely climb a fence, and I could grab that bloody thing. It's ridiculous. Now, the next thing is, it may seem to some people a bit of a weird section of this sound. I gave that a 7 out of 10. The soundtrack is nowhere near as good as the previous games in the series. I mean, they've all had fantastic music, but this one was just at best. It's a real meh. Although one of the main songs in the soundtrack that plays a lot more as you go through the game, especially towards the end, it's a mildly edited version of the song Ezio's Family from Assassin's Creed 2, which I think is one of the most beautiful pieces of music. It really is. But to just put that in again, just edited the tiniest bit, you don't do that. Get some new music. Put some work in, for Christ's sake. I grant, well, everyone else hasn't worked, but at least they've tried new stuff. This is just thrown out another of the same songs. And like when Arno's walking or running, his footsteps seem unnecessarily loud. Like just running through the streets, no matter what sounds are, you just say, it's like, what? Why is he so loud? And in the cutscenes, the ambient sounds of music and stuff at times are louder than the characters speaking. That's shameful. That's pretty basic sound balancing and stuff. That's what. Come on. You know, the noise of the riotous crowds and people going about their business in the day and stuff. The sound design on that is great. You just hear them. Granted, a lot of the civilians are in French. Main characters, they're British. They're very posh. Well, they're more upper class, but the civilians are speaking French. Don't know what they're saying, but they're going out the business. Some of them having conversations and all sorts. That's pretty impressive. You know, they got that in, but they had that in Watch Dogs. I don't think that was appreciated enough. I mean, I heard so many different conversations. I mean, I heard a woman on the phone and that calling her friend like, "Oh, I feel so sick. I'm going to be sick," and then she starts throwing up in the street. It's crazy. And the sounds through like the time riffs and stuff are pretty good. Like that go through, you're in World War II and there's an air raid siren, and no, really think, oh, okay, I've changed now, and it works well. And the machine guns sound pretty good, and no, it all works. It's good, but yeah, there's so much content in this game, and I'd say too much. I mean, they've had that since 3. No, there's so many things like trek across the wilderness to pick up peg legs trinkets. No, piss off, you bastard! Pick up your own trinket, you arse! But there are so many collectible things. I mean, Black Flag, there was something about it that I didn't mind so much. I went through and I've done everything in that now, pretty much. I just need the app to get one treasure map, and that's fine, that app worked alright. But this, it requires a companion app, which, for a fact, I can't get, because my iPod doesn't have iOS 7. But to get into the chest you have to use the companion app and stuff, and other chests have stupid requirements like be a certain level on initiates, and that's just absolute nonsense. Piss off! I mean, this is crap. I mean, let me just open the chest. Some of them have lockpicks on, right, fine, but the rest of it, I mean, reach a certain level just to open a chest and get like 50 francs or something. No, fuck you. And the glyphs, well, the glyphs really weren't what I thought they'd be. I thought it would be a bit more like Assassin's Creed 2, and I loved those glyphs. Some of them were a bit of a challenge, but they were kind of enjoyable. And you unlock that video and stuff, and that was, I really liked that. And this is pretty much solving a riddle. Ain't nobody got time for that. But it's like this about 2 walls and oh, I can't be arsed. Solve it yourself, piss off. I can't be bothered with your side missions. But one side thing I give credit to is the murder mysteries. Now those are pretty fun. You walk in, like, oh, someone's been killed. Use your eagle sense, look at what some of the evidence is. It's like, oh, okay, and then you choose what person to accuse, and your reward will depend on that. Now I really like that. That's really cool. But there are the co-op missions, that was the big selling point, as co-op. I can't really tell you how those are because it barely connects. I mean, I've tried to join mission stuff, but just sat there for ages with nothing. Oh, okay. So I've done like heists and stuff, but solo, because you can do them, but it'd be easier with more people, because you can, not only if you can communicate, one person will take that guy down, I'll take this guy down, all that stuff. But I haven't managed to do that. It's just annoying. I love Assassin's Creed so much, but what have they done? And there are so many bugs. There really are. I mean, mine was a relatively bug-free experience. I mean, there were basic ones, but like people clipping through objects. I've seen them like walk by the side of the street, suddenly clip into a box, fly above it, land, and then just walk off. What? I've seen things of people flying, textures failing to load, like the models ending up demonic-looking characters. I never experienced that, but I've seen pictures of it and stuff. And like on the final assassination mission, I fell through a roof, appeared about 2 meters away, and I was just clinging onto an imaginary ledge, and I just couldn't move. Then I was shot by a load of guards and fell down and died. I was not happy at all. I rage quit at that point, just went and got something to eat. Came back a couple of hours later. I was literally about 15, maybe 20 minutes away from the final credits. And I got pissed off enough to screw that. Maybe some of these bugs and stuff can get fixed with updates and stuff, and it may help boost the score I give it, but dear lord, it was such a buggy mess, and it was kind of boring. There's so many side stuff I just can't be asked to do. And all this was after they pushed the release date back a couple of weeks. Christ knows what the hell they'd have released if it was the original release date at the end of October. What the hell kind of mess would it have been? It would not have been playable. It really wouldn't. Now that's most of what I've got to complain about. I could probably continue, but I'll just leave with the overall score which I'm giving it, which honestly I think is pretty generous. I'm still thinking I might even mark it down even lower, but for now, as it stands at about 4 o'clock on the 20th of November, nearly a week after its release, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Although I'm probably going to bump that down to something, maybe even a 6.5. I'm normally a really harsh scorer, and I've just given this one such a generous... It's a really generous score. And oh my god. I mean, I've got my own rank on how I rank the Assassin's Creed games. I've got 2 as top by far. Then Black Flag I loved. Then Brotherhood. And then the first one. Really like that. Then 3. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like 3. It was a disappointment, but I still really enjoyed it, unlike this, really. Then Unity and then Revelations bottom. But the only reason it's that order is because I see Revelations, it was almost more like a DLC than a full-on game. If you know what I mean. If I class it as a full-on game, then Unity would be bottom. But oh my god. So there you have it. My review / rant on Assassin's Creed Unity. As you can tell, I'm not happy. They seriously have to up their game for the next one, or I don't know. But let me know what you think of Unity in the comments, or where you'd like to see the next Assassin's Creed. I'd love to see Victorian London or like ancient Rome, something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool. But for now, just like this video, share the channel with people and all that, subscribe, remember to keep breathing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.